You know, people look at obedience and they see only the chains and the rules and the commandments, thou shalt and thou shalt not. And from a certain distance, especially if you've been wounded by authority, it looks like nothing more than someone else's attempt to try to control you. But there's a deeper mechanism at work here. When a human being aligns himself, like truly aligns himself with something higher than his own immediate impulses, something extraordinary begins to happen. Not because the rules magically rearrange the atoms of the universe, but because the act of surrender reorders the chaos inside of the psyche itself. The individual who voluntarily subordinates his will to a transcendent principle, whether he names it God, the Logos, or simply the highest good that he can conceive, he discovers that the world starts cooperating with him in ways that look suspiciously like good luck. Opportunities appear, relationships deepen, that path opens. And of course it does, because you were never intended to be separate from the whole thing to begin with. The moment that you stop insisting that you are the sole author of your fate, the river that was always carrying you becomes visible, and you stop thrashing against the current, and suddenly you're downstream, and you're laughing, and you're wondering how you ever thought that you were doing the swimming all by yourself. This is the mechanism of surrender. It's not passive resignation. It's the most active thing a human being can do. You take the small, arrogant self, the one that believes it must control every outcome, self-deified, and you offer it up. And you say, as he said in the garden, under the weight of everything, not my will, but your will be done. And in that offering, something larger begins to operate through you. Jesus showed us the way. He did not merely teach it, he lived it down to the bone. Whoever would save his life would lose it, he said, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. That's not poetry. That's the precise psychology of transformation. Get out of your own way. Lay down the frantic claim to be the center. Surrender to the will of the Father. And the very structure of reality begins to move with you rather than against you. And most people call those results grace. Some call it a divine blessing. Others, more skeptical, call it good luck. But the pattern is the same. When the ego loosens its grip, life rearranges itself with an intelligence that exceeds your planning. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, he taught, and all of these things shall be added unto you. Not as a bargain, as a description of how the universe actually works once you stop fighting against the currents. Obedience, then, is not the point. It's the doorway, the way. The rules are not arbitrary restraints. They are the ancient technologies by which consciousness learns to participate in an order greater than itself. And once you taste the fruit of that participation, once you feel that strange, quiet power that arrives when you stop fighting the structure of reality, you can no longer dismiss it as coincidence. You begin to understand that what looked like restriction was actually an invitation into a conversation with something that has been speaking to you all along, waiting for you to stop shouting long enough to hear it. God bless.